where should I start looking? Not really. My admin says that only someone with intimate access to Parallax's network protocols could make these kinds of changes as something passes across the net. I personally think it's a clever hacker rather than someone inside Parallax itself. The company's strangling grip on mesh network provision is primarily due to the public's absolute trust in them as one of the good guys. It's trivially easy to set up ROMs to use a different OS than LIPS or a different meshnet protocol without that trust. I could be wrong. You're the hungry news hound. I'm sure you'll figure it out. That's great. That's what I need. I know it's not a whole lot to go on, but if I had all the answers, you would be standing in my office. Anything else you want to ask? With the understanding that I'm not going to give you anything I can use that I think you can use against me. Right. She's obviously not going to incriminate herself. Why you? Why not anyone else? Like what? There isn't much more I can tell you about Augmented Eye, really. It's a fairly simple and straightforward operation, if I say so myself. It started off in Venezuela as a sleek current events and news organization in 2055, almost 10 years ago now. We focus on more in-depth reporting of on-the-street happenings on top of major news. We're one of the few good ones left. Once folks in other cities saw the type of reporting we do, they all clamored for it. They invested in the right places and it paid off. KOS's IO core is happy to have us here in NeoSF. It wasn't until hybrid tech started hitting the public sphere that we had to make any changes to our model. All of that said, can't see why anyone would target us, unless they were just trying to embroil us in a mudslinging match with the human revolution. And there are more direct ways of making that happen. Know if anyone else has articles being manipulated. Alright, look. Wasn't gonna tell you this. If it gets out, I'd have to answer some really hard questions. So, off the record. The magic words, off the record. You might want to go check out TMI Entertainment and Charlie Nova. Oh, alright. That's all I have to say. Can't blame me for not wanting to be connected to sending you off to a sometimes competitor. So, why are we actually here? This is like the big final question, huh? Your own journalists should be able to handle digging up some dirt on a hacker. What, not wanting to answer prying questions from my coalition board isn't a good enough reason? Because I'd really like to avoid that. And look, you've covered culture wars, you know. I've covered wars, you know. Dang it. I'm glad there's little Dead Rising references in here. My journalists are good, but they're mostly good at digging up leads on new gadgets and implants, making sure they don't stack up too many sims, remembering what they did at raves for the after-party report. They're not experienced enough at real investigative journalism, and they don't have the right contacts. I'm surprised investigative journalism's still alive at this point. The fact that my network admin recommended you to me means you probably do know the right people. Is that enough ego polishing for you, or should I go on? I'm good. Thanks. I've covered wars, you know. No, don't bother. In hindsight, I probably should have been a bit more circumspect about speaking to you. Plausible deniability and all that. I won't ask you to lie in anything you write, but do remember, you got in contact with me, not even second-hand, but third-hand. I certainly didn't sick you on anyone. Wink wink, nudge nudge, or whatever. If you need anything else, have your person get with my person, don't come here directly. Now, I'd show you the door, but you know the way, and this isn't the only fire I'm trying to put out. Good luck, goodbye. Well, she seems nice. That was actually a lot more confrontational than I expected, considering she's the one in need of help. She never brought you that hassy either. Hey! She never brought me that hassy! Is it always like this, Solon? She knows the game, but we didn't walk away with nothing. Secrets are expensive. Wow, all of this without lies, there wouldn't be much to write about. Yeah, what kind of detective, what kind of journalist do we want to be here? She does know the game, respect the game. But people don't usually give away much. Secrets are expensive. Very true. I'll admit that I'm interested in the possibility of a link back to Parallax. If all of this really is due to someone manipulating the meshnet on the inside, it may give us the leverage we need to find out what happened to Hayden once and for all. That said, I'll take care not to get my hopes up. We should make no assumptions when investigating, lest we lead ourselves down a false path. Anyway, What's our next step? Uh-oh. No! Oh no! What? That's ZINN! What? What the hell happened? Be super cynical. Well, that's one way to get plausible deniability. Yuck, 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 yuck. God, let's go help her. It's too late, Solon. Considering the angle and height of the fall, rendering suitable aid is beyond our capabilities now. Your desire is laudable, but emergency services are already on the way. They'll assist her as much as they can. We should head back to her office and see if we can determine what happened here. Perhaps we can still dispense justice? What? Looks like the desk has been cleared off. Let's take a look around, but be careful not to disturb any evidence. The police will be here soon. Not the jade plant! Flawless foliage hath fallen. It's in the big greenhouse in the sky now. What happened to the IK-47 though? Unit lies still. It looks like it was destroyed mid-data appraisal. Audio receptors are one of its more visibly damaged parts. Okay. I guess that one... Just kick it while it's powered down, why don't you? Sorry, I'm a monster. Has multiple monitors streaming news and info from the augmented eye. Sister sites still around the globe. We can knock on it, even though it's not made of wood. What's up with the photograph? Something new here happened? I know, I'm adventuring all the wrong place. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's look at the window. My thermal sensors only detect a single set of lingering footprints, and they end almost 3 feet away from the window. Considering the density of this glass, I can't imagine ZINN jumped from that far and managed to throw herself through the pane without help. But who could have done it? I don't see any obvious marks on the floor, any thermal hotspots. So no one else was in here? Doesn't look like it. What do we have left? There's the monitor on the floor. Her personal computer's not password protected at the moment. Give me a moment to look through her files. Best to keep your fingerprints off the keyboard. Most of this isn't very interesting. Committee reports, financial, article submissions. Oh, here we go. According to this email between ZINN and her network admin, her lead on TMI Entertainment is a little more solid than she led us to believe. The admin ran a web crawler looking for changes in writing styles. Some blog posts by their head anchor, Charlie Nova, stood out like a sore thumb. Apparently he's a bit pompous, if in an affable way, and his blog usually just details his day-to-day life. But ever since the human revolution's been in town, he's been smearing them with more venom than you'd expect, considering how neutral his on-air reporting has been. ZINN seems to think he was just complaining about the protesters fouling up traffic, and whoever's manipulating these posts spun it to make him look critical of the movement as a whole. Just like the augmented eye journalist. This Charlie fellow is the one we need to talk to. Okay, we gotta go. There's nothing else here, and the police are almost on the scene. We can't afford to be slowed down by undue suspicion. God dang it! God, Lexi, no! Son of a... Should have figured you two would be here. You just won't stay out of trouble no matter what I say, will you, Solon? This is a total misunderstanding. I assure you, Detective Rivers, we're merely in the wrong place at the wrong time. We had an appointment with ZINN to discuss a possible lead and found her office in a state of disrepair. Of course you did, damn it. Fine, fine. Get the hell out of here before anyone else shows up. Mark my words, two of you will be answering my questions when I'm not scraping people off the pavement, you hear me? Thanks, Detective Rivers. We don't have to turn in our deputy badges, do we? I really like them. I'll forward you a report of what we know immediately, and we can speak further at a later time. Yeah, whatever. Get moving. Wow. We're swarming already. Okay. Dang, you lied to Lexi. I do not need you to infer upon my motivations or highlight my duplicity. I do. You're an AI, and you're lying to people now. That's kind of cool. I'm into that. Detective Rivers has every bit of information that ZINN gave us on that computer. Our investigation will not be hampered by our absence, whereas ours is halted if we're stuck giving answers she can just as well get from a hard drive. Literally. Has it occurred to you that whoever threw ZINN out the window could be after the same thing we are, except to silence the story rather than get it out? We have little time for fooling around. We must get to Charlie Nova before something happens to him too. Now, unless you have further recriminations to level at me, we must not squander the time my dishonesty bought us. I have highlighted the main Neo-SF offices for TMI Entertainment on your map. I'm proud of his passion. Turing is a passionate friend. Good. I'm really glad that I asked them about that. Okay, TMI Entertainment. No, I just can't go to new places. I can't go to new places because I know I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna ask some questions, I'm gonna walk out the door, and someone's gonna fly out a window behind me and die. And it keeps happening. No. She's fine. She fell out of a third-story window. That happens sometimes. Gravity happens. She'll be fine. We'll see ZINN in the hospital. Now it'll be good, right? Oh boy. I hope some pity for me still remains considering my recent tone, because I'm honestly not sure where we should start, Solon. No, we're cool. No, I'm glad you had every reason to set me straight. You're good. I suppose we should just ask the receptionist to point us to someone who can answer some questions. I'm into the lobby music for TMI. It was good. All right. Yeah. Know anything about TMI Entertainment? What are we getting into? You do have your own mesh access, yes? Turing! This is what you're here for. You said at the beginning of all this. Don't be mad at me. You said you were gonna. This was what you're gonna help me do. Quite certain you can handle all the casual searches you might feel like making. I'll go run a Google search right now, kid. I hardly have time for me to blather out every bit of exposition you desire when you can just look it up on your own. Nah, I'm not taking that. You just do a good job of making it concise. Fair enough. If you think it'll save time, I can continue to rattle off these facts when you ask for them. Yes! Just keep your queries to a minimum. We don't have a whole lot of time. Let me pull up the information you requested. Oh, he's having like adolescence and I hate it. Stop growing up, Turing. Okay. We get one then. I'm gonna guess we get one. We know Charlie because we've talked about this. Let's figure out TMI Entertainment. TMI Entertainment is a relatively popular celebrity and gossip news conglomerate. They own OK Today. They did a good job transitioning from the traditional media models of television and news to the net-based model prevalent now, pioneered by their digital newspaper OK Today's The Scanline. Some might call their programs rags, but opinion on the mesh seems more favorable than not. They stick to modest, mostly good-natured prying and lean away from the seedier nastiness that paparazzi can get up to. As such, they have a positive relationship with many celebrities and regularly get exclusive scoops that keep their ratings up, despite their refusal to peddle in the darker side of the celebrity news circuit. Okay, we'll take the Charlie Nova too. I'll take the Charlie Nova for 300, Bob. Charlie Nova is TMI's Entertainment's most popular TV personality. He's gotten consistently high ratings for almost a decade, and isn't afraid to tell you about it. The chatter on the mesh paints him as a bit arrogant, but in that loud, backslapping kind of way that a media star can get away with. He's best known for hosting Star in the Stratosphere. It's one of those talent-seeking reality programs. Apparently, when TMI can't organically discover enough celebrities, they just manufacture them. That's seedy, I love it! Also, according to this blog, Charlie's hair is flawless. I'll be prepared for flawless hair. Hope you are too, Turing. Hello. Please let us in. Hi! Sorry,